Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Juniper. I am the Senior Community Manager for the Bitverse, and I would like to welcome you all to a very special community Q&A session about our upcoming NFTs. This week, we will be talking with Congregate's Vice President of Product, Jorge, and the Bitverse's new Senior Product Manager, who you will see in our community under the name of the Bit Viper. Jorge and Viper, welcome, and thank you for sitting down with us today.
Hello. Happy to be here again.
All right, so along with, oh, hey there. So one thing you're gonna learn, Viper, is I have this tendency of unmuting myself exactly when guests are trying to answer because my timing is just terrible. So I apologize in advance. But what we're going to do is, along with some of our bigger NFT announcements, our plan is to go over some updates about current Bitverse community events and giveaways, as we usually do. Then we will transition into answering player-submitted questions about our new blockchain and NFT initiatives. We will wrap the session up by giving away 2 Ultra Gores this week to some of our lucky audience members. This session is very likely to be a little bit longer than usual, as we have a ton of questions we want to try and answer for the community. But please rest assured that we will be posting it up on the YouTube channel for anyone who may not actually have been able to make it. Now, before we get started, I do want to quickly mention a few things that may be of interest to the community, and then we can go ahead and get into answering some questions and sharing some exciting announcements. So the Bitverse Art Contest actually has just recently ended, and we want to give everyone who took the time to create amazing and absolutely hilarious art pieces that we will be sharing on our social media channels in the very near future. Winners will be announced next week, so please do not forget to check in with us on Discord to see if your creation has earned you the newly coveted title of Bitverse Artisan. We also continue running multiple weekly social events on our Discord that we really encourage you all to join. Tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific time, we will be playing Phasmophobia together. And another XXL pack is going to be given away. And this time, all you need to do to enter is come hang out with us while we stream. After being peer pressured by Coffee, who is the other community manager here, I will actually be playing this week as well, which I don't normally do. I do feel comfortable guaranteeing everyone at least a few laughs because I am 100% petrified of scary games. And I haven't been brave enough to get past the tutorial yet. So we're inviting everyone who has Phasmophobia on Steam to join us for a few ghost hunts, and we hope everyone will be there for some fun tomorrow. As a quick reminder, Phasmophobia is a little bit more mature of a horror game and has like a little jump scares and stuff like that. So if that's not your cup of tea, just wait until we finish streaming and come say hi in the channel once all the spookiness is over. And now moving on to some very cool stuff. So we are super excited to share that we have some NFT heroes ready to give away to the community. In the next week, we will be doing some free airdrops. So you need to stay tuned to our Medium blog and Twitter for updates if you want to snag one. Later in the Q&A, we'll be announcing some key dates. But before we get into that, we do want to share that in the next couple of weeks, you can expect to see important, more detailed information about the NFT presale and whitelist posted on our Medium blog as well. You can find us on Medium at the-bitverse.medium.com. I'm going to do that one more time. The-bitverse.medium.com. Our Twitter handle is BHBitverse for anyone who hasn't followed us yet. Those are going to be the 2 places you really want to make sure to stay tuned in if you are interested in the NFT things that we have going on. All right. Now, before we get into answering questions, I think it would be great to take a moment for Viper to introduce himself to the Bitverse community. Can you share a little bit more about yourself? What brings you to Congregate and what is your role in the Bitverse?
Sure. Thanks, Juniper. The Bit Viper, it's funny. So my actual name's Donnie. I don't mind doxing myself here. I am a senior product manager here on the Bitverse team, and I've been with Congregate for about 3 months. Prior to joining Congregate, I worked in the financial industry for 9 years, doing product and strategy in various roles. Prior to that, I've also worked as a chemical engineer. I worked at an algae-based biofuel company and a nutraceutical company, which is just simply the fancy word they use for vitamin nowadays. My specific focus on the Bitverse is on developing the blockchain side of the universe. And so I end up spending a lot of time thinking about NFTs and how best to fit them into Quest and other Bitverse games, and mainly how to fit them in as seamlessly as possible. A few hobbies I'll get into other than gaming is playing with my kids, reading, learning history, and of course, blockchain investing. And I'll give you a few video game related facts to me. I'll date myself here with a couple of these. My first game system was the Super Mario 3 Nintendo Entertainment System bundle, which I still have and still play to this day. In 1999, for the very first Half-Life game, at one point I was actually ranked the seventh best player in the world. Much to my chagrin, my roommate, my college roommate at the time, was third best, and I could never defeat him. And most played games in my history, probably Civilization 4, Madden Football, Half-Life, and Minesweeper. And I'm so proud. I'll close this off with the Bit Viper moniker. I literally finally came up with it about 30 minutes ago and threw it on here. I was trying to come up with something Bitverse related. So I'm very proud of that and threw it on here. Anyway, thanks, Juniper.
Of course. No, I love. Oh, that's fine. Or my Discord can mute itself. That's not awkward at all. I was complimenting your name. I think it's actually super wonderful. So thank you very much for the intro. Let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff and let's start answering some questions. We have a lot to get through today. So our first one is, I think, an important one to help clarify some things a little bit before we get into talking about things deeply, which is the NFTs go by a lot of different names. How do we know which ones you're talking about?
Donnie, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I can. We are going to call them heroes. Hero would be the singular, heroes will be the plural.
Yeah, to expand a little bit on that, there's been some confusion around characters, accounts, heroes, NFT heroes, all of that. So we basically decided to settle for there's gonna be basically NFT heroes and NFT heroes and basic heroes. That's how we differentiate them.
Awesome. Thank you for the clarification. So, as a community going forward, if you see us referring to NFT heroes, please know that's what we're talking about so we can all be on the same page. Jumping into a topic we got a lot of questions about, which is ads, actually. So, is the ad free experience that is mentioned in the white paper indicative of non NFT players being looped into forced ads?
Okay, so we are not planning to introduce force ads into Bit Heroes Quest. That's not part of the idea. There are still going to be optional rewarded videos that you can opt in to get a reward, right? Like, yeah, the ad gore or the free stuff placements. Although for other games, some of the new games, forced ads is it's part of the monetization model of those games. So maybe, it's not settled yet. We are exploring it because it comes with, a certain amount of things that you need to consider. But, for example, for maybe Runner, there will be force ads. We'll see.
Awesome. All right. Will having an NFT character require a buy-in with Bitpixel just to create your character, or will Bitpixel just be used for Bitforge items?
I think this is an excellent Donnie question.
Thanks, Jorge. Yeah, for the NFTs, we will be selling them for either IMX tokens or ETH. We will not be selling the NFT heroes with Bitpixels, at least for the foreseeable future. I can't say for certain that won't change way in the future. But what we foresee the Bitpixel to be used for is in-game items, boosts, things like the Bitforge, when we get that up and running later. And what was it? Potential, some of the modes like player versus player type bets and stuff.
As a
And
reminder,
for
the
go ahead,
avatars are
Jorge.
gonna, or the NFT heroes are gonna come before Bitpixel is actually out there. So
Yeah.
that's why we're starting with ETH and IMX tokens.
And for the people in the audience, could you clarify what ETH is?
Oh, it's the native token on Ethereum. Sorry.
Oh, you're all good. We just have some new people to the Web3 space. So whenever we can, I always like to use educational opportunities to get everyone on the same page. It's a really common form of, as Viper said, if you guys are unsure, again, we'll have the information in the Q&A after, so you can take a little bit deeper of a look at that. Has there been a decision about converting current characters to NFT characters, or will they require restarting the game?
So at the moment, we are not going to work on this. Again, it's not discarded in the future, but again, probably it's not in the roadmap for the next year. So not at the moment.
So for now, NFT heroes will be new.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Then with the introduction of having multiple NFT characters, will free-to-play accounts be able to load multiple accounts and switch between them? I think this question is asking how multiple characters are going to be handled for a single account.
Yeah. So basically, everyone who plays in any of the Bitverse games is gonna have access to the basic hero, right? A free basic hero for everybody, basically. Which is not an NFT, as I just mentioned some minutes before. And then if you, let's say, if somebody has 3 or 4 or 5 or more NFT heroes in their wallet, when they make the connection to the wallet and to their Congregate account, and they log into the game, they will be able to switch between their basic hero and any of the NFT heroes that they have in their wallet.
Okay, and then on to a little bit more straightforward of a question. Will there be a tax? And the example used here is I sell something for 100 Bitpixel and would I receive 95 while Kong receives 5?
Honey, wanna take this one?
Traditionally, there are 3 fees when using one of the marketplaces to sell an NFT to someone else. I don't know that I would call them a tax, but there are 3 fees, and they're kind of similar to if anyone has ever sold something on eBay, how there would be eBay fees. I think eBay usually charges like 10%. On the IMX marketplace, one of the fees is the IMX fee, and it's 2% of the purchase price. There's also another marketplace fee. There's an IMX fee. There's a marketplace fee that's also 2%, and so an additional 2% taken out of the purchase price. And then usually there is a fee given to the creator of the original creator of the asset, which in this case would be Congregate. I'm not sure we have settled on exactly what our fee is going to be. But you add those 3 fees together, and that is the fee that is then paid when someone actually purchases it from a seller. The seller then has those fees subtracted from from the money they receive from the buyer, and they take the rest.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, like the requirement is to finalize the transaction, right? Like
Right.
otherwise, you don't get charged. Yeah.
Right. There's no charge for listing on these marketplaces or anything like that.
Hmm.
Okay, so then is the currency what we would consider an investment? And then the example here is would it move up and down based on its parent, Ethereum, or would it have a static value?
Go ahead, Donny. I saw your mic light coming up.
Oh, so we are not planning for this to be an investment. We are not trying to make one of these cryptocurrencies that people speculate and it goes crazy 100 one day and 100th of a penny the next day. We're trying to have something, I would say, probably closer to static value than an investment.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So yeah, I think
Oh,
one
go
one
ahead,
thing to
Jorge.
consider there is, you know, probably I think we're selling the Bitpixel for static value, but then since it's gonna be a crypto asset, like we probably are not gonna have any control in terms of like if people decide to take the token, you know, out of the ecosystem and bring it somewhere else and trade it, uh, they're gonna be able to do so. So, you know, whenever that happens, we really won't have any control over that. So the price at which the currency might be sold somewhere else is not something we're gonna be able to control.
Right.
Only the price at which we will sell it ourselves.
Right. And we are trying to do it in such a way that it's not going to be some crazy speculative asset where that's not our goal here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, how much will each rarity of NFT Hero cost? And for this question, since Bitpixel isn't out yet, could you give us the how much they'll be in USD at, as of today?
Yeah, so before Viper jumps in, I'm gonna say something, and that is that these these NFT heroes are very likely to over time gather a lot of materials, items, progression as a whole, right? So I think eventually, if somebody gets one and decides to invest heavily in the game, right, and play a significant amount of time and maybe even put some money through transactions, then that's really gonna show off in the character. And over time, we expect this to, certainly be something valuable for someone who's like looking for this out there. So that hopefully explains a little bit why we are going the way we're going. In a second, Donnie's gonna talk about it. But yeah, just wanted to make that quick comment here.
Yeah, and we did quite a bit of research into comparables, what other projects were doing, and then also I at least did some research into what people are valuing Bit Hero accounts out there on the web. So that went into some of this. Jorge, you ready for me to go over it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you ranges right now because we haven't exactly settled on what we're going to do. But for the pre-sale, and let me state that the pre-sale is going to be the cheapest we ever plan to sell these. So this would be the biggest discount you'd get. Future drops, we anticipate the price probably going up. I'm hearing a lot of feedback. Is anyone else hearing that too?
Nope, I think that might just be on your hand, Viper.
Okay. Okay. All right. We're going to sell 4 rarities of what we're calling portals, but you can think of them as packs. And within those portals, you have a chance to get a particular set of NFT hero rarities. So the first portal we are going to have, pack we're going to have, is the common portal. And that portal will cost somewhere between for the pre-sale $190 and $225, somewhere in there. For the rare portal, Actually, maybe I should go over what's in it. In the common portal, you will have sorry, let me find it, an 85% chance of getting a common hero and a 15% chance of getting a rare hero and a 0.1% chance of actually getting a mythic hero within the common portal. For the rare portal, there are no commons in the rare portal. You have roughly an 85% chance of getting a rare hero, a 14 and change percent chance of getting an epic hero, and a 0.2% chance of getting a mythic hero. That rare portal for the pre-sale will cost somewhere between $275 and $300. Then the next rarity up will be an epic portal. They will have no commons and no rare heroes, so it's going to start with epic heroes. You have an 85% chance of getting an epic hero, about a 14% chance of getting a legendary hero, and a 1% chance of getting a mythic hero. The cost for those for the pre-sale will be somewhere in the ballpark of $500. And then the final portal we will have is the legendary portal. And this one will have no commons, no rares, no epics. It will just be legendaries and mythics. And it'll be about a 72% chance of getting a legendary and about a 20% chance of, an 83% chance of getting a legendary and about a 17% chance of getting a mythic. And the price on there will be somewhere between, say, $800 and $850.
Alrighty.
Maybe,
So when are Oh, go ahead, Jorge. I
yeah,
did
I
it
was
again
wondering if we
every time.
can, maybe if you want to talk a little bit about like what are the differences between like each variety of a
Yeah.
hero?
Yeah, I wondered about that. I saw that question later, so it probably makes sense to talk about it here.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
I'll quickly go over some of the benefits that all heroes will have, no matter rarities. So it'll be the hero be usable across all the Bitverse games. The initial ones launching this year: Quest, Arena, and Runner. I'm sure everyone has heard that in previous Q and A's. They will store game progression with the hero for non NFT items that were earned in game and experience. So the NFT hero will store those. So for some reason you ever traded it or sold it to someone else, and you were level 100, that NFT hero would be level 100 to the person who buys it on the marketplace. So that's one of the biggest benefits, and all of the heroes, regardless of rarity, will have that. Additionally, other things that those heroes will have, again, for all rarities, that we will eventually be launching a Bitverse Season Pass, probably more towards the end of this year, early next year. It'll feature various quests that are spread out across all the Bitverse games and will allow you to earn potential rewards. It'll also have daily missions, and this will only be available to owners of an NFT hero. We'll be giving a special role on Discord that allows you to flex your ownership. We'll be holding other exclusive events that will only be available to the NFT heroes. So live player versus player event in Quest. We'll have tournaments in Arena and leaderboard tournaments in Runner. And again, these will only be available to folks that own one of the heroes, the NFT heroes. Additionally, as we get the Bitpixel token up and running, again, later this year, beginning of next year, there will be a bonus for the first run each day in Runner, a Bitpixel bonus. There'll be a Bitpixel bonus for your first victory each day in Arena, and there'll be a Bitpixel bonus after you complete your first player versus player win in Quest each day. Also, we will have Bitpixel drops available in Runner for you to be able to earn as you're playing. And then finally, you will have access to one-on-one, 1v1 bets in Bit Hero Quest. Now, one caveat, both players must own the Bit Hero, own one of these NFT heroes for that. So that is the perks for all rarities.
I think I can say something else here.
Yes.
You know, NFT heroes are gonna have a special animation as well whenever they pop up in the game in certain situations that no other heroes are gonna have.
Awesome. So when will consumers be able to purchase NFT hero?
Actually, Juniper, do you want me to go? Why don't I go over what the other rarity bonuses are before we get to that?
Absolutely. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. So then for all rarities except common. So if you have rare or above, there's two additional perks. So you'll have access to exclusive offers that we will periodically make available in the various game stores. If you have rare or above, you'll be able to purchase through those, and other folks won't. Additionally, if you are rare above, you will be eligible for the daily ad bonuses without actually having to watch the ads. So you'll be able to save some time there for an ad-free experience. Moving up the rarity chain a little bit, so this would be epic and above, or epic, legendary, mythic owners. They will have access, they'll gain priority access to upcoming beta releases. So for future games or for future content that we'll be releasing, they'll be able to have priority access to that. They will also get an exclusive Nft Pet that will match their Bit Hero rarity, and it'll be eligible to be used in Bitverse games. Now, the Nft Pet will be coming later. It won't come immediately when selling the NFT heroes. It will come later as we start to build out the Forge and NFT items. Um, so those are the bonuses for Epic and above. And then for folks who have a legendary and above, there will be an exclusive NFT mount that will be provided to them, again based on the rarity of your hero, that'll be used in the Bitverse games. And again, it will be provided to folks later that still, whoever owns the Bit Hero, when we do the NFT drops, will be provided to them. And then for Mythic owners, there will also be an exclusive Discord channel for owners of Mythic heroes. And then so those are more your game bonuses. Then we also have a few other bonuses that are going to be probably hard to digest over audio, and we'll be publishing it soon. But we will have three other types of bonuses that two of them kick in from rare and above. One of them is we will provide a bonus of gems on purchases. So whenever you will receive bonus gems whenever you purchase gems in game, as long as you are using the NFT hero. And the percentages go up with rarity. So it starts at a 5% bonus at rare, and at the mythic level, it's a 25% bonus on your gems when you purchase. The other one that goes from rare and above is that once we get the Bitpixel token launched, you'll be able to receive bonus gems when you purchase gems using Bitpixels. And again, this ranges from a 5% bonus when you have a rare hero, and goes up to 25% for mythic owners, mythic hero owners. And then the final bonus will be eligible for the legendary and mythic owners, and is a bonus to staking. When we get the Bitpixel token launched, we plan to introduce staking to the ecosystem. And for folks who are unaware, staking is a crypto concept where if you have tokens that you're not planning to spend for some amount of time, you will often stake them in a pool, in essence, locking them up. And a lot of crypto projects will actually provide you like interest, almost like think about from like interest in a bank. It's not quite the same, but if you think about putting your money in a savings account, you get interest. Staking is somewhat similar to that, in that you will get Bitpixel tokens back. So in this case, we'll create a staking pool. You would stake some of your Bitpixels, you would get Bitpixels back. Well, and projects do that to help support the price of the token. Well, for owners of the legendary and mythic heroes, we will provide an additional bonus on top of their staking rewards. At legendary, it's a 10% bonus, and mythic, it's 20%.
I think one thing that I would add also is that depending on the rarity of the NFT hero, the amount of customizable options that it will display that are NFT unique is gonna be different, right? So the rarer, the different it will look basically, and also every single hero is gonna be unique. Like There's not gonna be any other one with the same combination of options, basically.
Yeah, that's right. All of them will be one of one, and as you go up the rarity ladder, they start to look cooler, right? They have more options, more bling, if you will. They just look cooler.
Mhm.
Okay. So when will consumers be able to purchase an NFT hero?
I can take this one. So our target pre-sale date is the 22nd of September, if I'm not mistaken, right, Donny?
That's correct.
Oh.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Did we
Oh,
want to?
I can add one more. We will plan on putting up. This will be our Generation Zero sale. We'll be putting up the 2,500 heroes spread across rarities for sale on the September 22nd.
Okay. And then what is the expected release date for the blockchain services?
Yeah, I can take this one as well. We're targeting basically October right now uh, to launch Heroes Arena. And the idea is that we'll basically, turn on the switch and allow players to start playing with their avatars there, with their NFT heroes. We still have a little bit of a TSD here, and then from that point we will start with interoperability and progression storage. Those are going to be the first two services that are going to be live on that first moment. And from there, we will be adding all of these other services that Viper has been talking about, right? This is a multi-month, multi-year project. It's gonna be taking some time, but we'll get there. We want to put this in front of players the soonest that we can, right? Because we feel like this is a journey, and we hope that everybody, kind of embarks with us and comes with us along the ride. Um, so that's why we decided to do it this way.
And what is the expected release date for the Bitforge?
I can take this one, Jorge. So we don't have an exact release date of the Bitforge. It's going to be early 2023 is what we're targeting. As development work, we're hoping to start after the pre-sale. As of right now, the Bitforge exists as a concept in some Excel sheets and slides on my computer and Jorge's computer right now as we're planning things out. But we are very excited about this feature and really having fun even kind of designing it right now.
Will now, okay, so those are, I would say, that's a lot of really big. Those are exciting announcements. I know our players have been waiting a really long time for some dates. So thank you all for your patience. We're really excited that we are so close to that pre-sale date, which is coming up really quickly here. Moving into some more general Bit Heroes quest. These are still related to NFT heroes, but are going to be a little bit more focused on gameplay and like how the NFTs play in that way. So, our first question is: will a lower tier buyer be able to equip a higher tier NFT? How is this balanced?
Sorry, I missed that, Juniper. Can you repeat the question?
Oh, of course. Will a lower tier buyer be able to equip a higher tier NFT? How is
Gotcha.
that?
Yeah. Sorry. So not that's not the idea. We are gonna abide by the Big Heroes rules, right, of the game, and what that means is basically that if you want to use a tier 9 sword, right, you'll have to be at least a tier 9 in terms of progression, right? So we protect the balancing of the game and the experience of other players who don't own NFTs. Now, this being said, items are a 2023 item in the roadmap for us. So please bear in mind that some things might change. We're trying to answer all of your questions today, or as many as we can. But we're very much focused on getting the NFT heroes out there and building the tech, right, to basically allow you to play with those heroes across multiple games, et cetera, et cetera. So we haven't had all the time that we wanted to put into thinking through all the cases for items, which, by the way, it's amazing to see like how everyone's thinking about this for us already. So that's certainly something that I appreciate.
Yeah, it's great to get even these questions are telling us, things that we're able to incorporate into our thinking on how the Bitforge is going to come along.
Awesome. So if a cosmetic is minted in the Bitforge, does the seller lose access to that cosmetic?
So if a cosmetic is maintained in the Bitforge, does the seller lose access to that cosmetic? Again, we're looking at how we're going to be doing this, but in terms of protecting the economy as well, in this case of the NFTs themselves, we'll probably take it away. I know it's different compared to what the game does today with existing items, cosmetics, and regular items, but it could be something that might be exploitable, right? If for any reasons like cosmetics and items start circulating just for the purpose of sharing those skins. So we want to be careful about it, and therefore, if you mint an NFT item and you don't have a copy of that item and you sell it, then you will lose access to the skin.
Will players be able to destroy a Bitforge minted NFT item for materials? What measures are taken to preserve the economy in this scenario?
We won't allow people to destroy NFT items in game. I think Donnie can talk a little bit about like how the minting will work and the price of minting will work, if that's of any interest here. So, but yeah, basically the answer there is we won't allow people to destroy the items, and in order to preserve the economy, I think Donnie can better answer that.
Yeah, and I want to say there's a nuance in case folks didn't catch it. What Jorge said, we won't allow Bitforge minted NFTs to be destroyed in game. There is one thing we're looking at for some of the higher tier items to be minted as a higher tier NFT is potentially looking at lower tier NFTs may be required. In a process that's somewhat similar to how a lot of the fusions and upgrades occur in the Bit Hero and Quest in the Quest game today. That is something we're looking at. As far as more specifically, what measures are we taking to preserve the economy? My main concern or main thing I'm trying to look at with the Bitforge is tackle inflation. And inflation is a buzzword everywhere nowadays. But as we build it out, we don't want a million mythic sword NFTs sitting out there floating around. And so, what we are thinking of doing to combat that is to have a type of call it a dynamic pricing for the items that it's minted. So what we're thinking of doing is for the higher rarity items, so maybe epic and above, legendary and above, we will have an equation in place in essence that each time a particular item is minted as an NFT, the next time someone wants to go and also mint that NFT, the price will go up in terms of the bit pixels required. That'll, in a way, put a floor underneath the value of the NFT, but also provide what we're calling a soft cap. So if someone really wants to mint that particular NFT item and they're willing to pay the price that the market has taken the mint price to, then we will allow them to do that. And that soft cap will be designed in such a way to kind of limit the number of times each particular item is mintable without actually applying a somewhat arbitrary hard cap on it.
Alrighty. So, on to a question we've had from a few people about our previous partnership with Forte. The question says there's no way to engage with that blockchain anymore. What measures are being taken to guarantee IMX assets wouldn't end up kind of like dead on arrival in the way this person has phrased it? What happens if Bit Heroes, well, actually, these are a few questions in one, so we're just going to start with that. So, how are these different from the previous partnership with Forte?
Yeah, it's I know there's been some frustration building up around that. We are looking at options like maybe allowing players to get maybe some sort of free mint into the IMX network. Again, we're exploring options. Again, we're focused on delivering the heroes right now, so that it's gonna have to come later. But again, there's a reason why we're not working with Forte anymore right now. It's basically a closed chain, which means, again, you're right, like you're not allowed to take your assets and NFTs out of that chain. But we're not working with them anymore, right? IMX, on the contrary, it's an L2 chain. An L2 chain means basically that it sits on top of an existing L1 chain, like Ethereum in this case, right? And what they do is basically they have a technology that is much more optimized than Ethereum and allows for much lower transaction fees, etc., etc. In any case, trying to answer the question, any hero or item minted into the IMX chain, will be immediately available to be taken anywhere. Like if you want to take it to OpenSea, you want to take it to a different place, like there's no walls in this garden, so to speak.
Wonderful. Then, what is the success metric for the NFT project? How many of the pre sale must be fulfilled to guarantee the prosperity of the IP?
That's an interesting question. I think, Donnie, do you want to take it, or I can take it? I don't mind.
I think this one might be better for you.
Okay, no, yeah, that's fine. So basically, I think success is an interesting word. For us, obviously, we want to sell out, right? During the pre-sale, we want to basically sell every single NFT hero that we put out there. But at the same time, we'll have to see how it plays. The project, in any case, is already funded, right? Which means that the question feels to me a little bit like it's putting a condition, like success metric for the project. So I want to make sure that everybody knows that the project is funded and we are gonna keep working on this, regardless of how it goes, right? It's not like if we don't sell out, we're gonna cancel the game the day after or anything like that. I know there's been some concerns around it. It's not the case at all. So that should be fine. And then again, we want to sell out. So that means that that's our success metric. If we sell 80% of the inventory, that would be nice. Could be considered a success or not, we'll see.
I do want to
If
take
we
a
want,
moment to just for a second, just to let everybody know that we did actually, as a team, post a really big announcement in the Bitverse section clarifying our stances around um, the future of the very bright future for Bit Heroes Quest and how that relates to our NFT project. I think it would be really helpful if you haven't had a chance to take a look at that already. It kind of expands a little bit on what Jorge just was talking about with the project already being fully funded. So again, it is in the announcement section of the Bitverse Discord. We just posted it probably like 30 minutes before this FAQ, and it really does have a lot of very important information. So I really encourage everybody to go and take a look at that as soon as they can. Now I'm going to move on to the next one. Was there something else you wanted to add, Jorge?
um, I was gonna say that again. The project is the continuity of Quest is guaranteed, and also our efforts in blockchain are also guaranteed for a while. Obviously, again, we want to sell out, and if we want to grow the Bitverse even further, we're gonna need to be successful on this endeavor.
All right. So this is another question that, again, I'm going to say that we just put an announcement up about this one, but I'm going to reiterate it here just so Jorge has a chance to address it. If Congregate as a whole, larger than the Bitverse, fails in the Web3 space and decides to alter their business trajectory, is Bit Heroes by extension sunset? For those who don't know, sunset would mean the end of the game.
No, it won't be. Again, please take a look at the new announcement. It probably does a better job at explaining everything than I can do here. Uh, we're currently in a good place. Like again, as I said, Quest is in a good place to keep things as they've been the last 3 years, right? Getting your zone and world boss updates, the content, the small events, um, the small quality of life upgrades. Like that's gonna continue for the foreseeable future, right? Uh, the game will continue basically, regardless of what happens with the Bitverse as a Web3 project. But obviously, if the Web3 kind of endeavor fails, then the Bitverse will need to be evaluated as a whole thing. Like, hey, are we gonna be, for example, are we gonna be pursuing more games within this universe, or should we do something different? Like, those types of conversations will need to happen. But Beat Heroes Quest is secure and safe. We all love it. It's not going anywhere.
Awesome. So, the next question here, as this project has developed, what is the current stance on burn mechanics? The page is still live in the white paper.
Oh, let me take this one.
Yeah, we'll be updating that.
We are in the process of updating our white paper to, I would almost say, like 2.0 maybe. I don't know if it's that far, and it's currently sitting on open on my desktop right now. And one of the things we're going to do is burn the burn mechanic page. We are not going to have it.
I like that joke so much.
Awesome. So we will not be burning purchased NFTs. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a good one. I probably should have asked this a little bit earlier when we were talking about Forte. But are the Forte NFT cosmetics and the legendary mount, will they be remintable via the Bitforge so they could be sold on IMX?
So as I mentioned a little bit before this, we are gonna explore that option. Yes, right now, as I mentioned, also items are a 2023 item in the roadmap. So we will deep dive or dive deep into it um, in a couple of months, probably not now.
Wonderful. So, fusing is listed as a play and own mechanic in the white paper. We can already fuse familiars. What is this referencing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is one of the things we're going to update in the white paper to be less confusing. We're going to change it to forging. We can see how that would be confusing to folks, and I actually thanks to whoever in the community asked this question and pointing out that that language was in there. So we're going to change that to forging in the next version.
and forging is basically the process of minting any kind of item or asset in the game that's not a hero
Yeah.
into an NFT.
Alrighty, so Bit Heroes Arena is still publicized as a Q3 release. With Q3 coming to an end at the conclusion of September, are project targets on track?
They're not, but they're very close. We are targeting an October release right now, first half. We might need to take to push it back to the second half. We'll see. It's gonna be tight, particularly for QA. I think our current kind of track is putting us, to have the game somewhat completed on, at the beginning of October. But then again, we need to QA everything, make sure that it plays well, make sure that the NFT heroes work as they should, and like that takes a little bit of time, and it might get rushed. So potentially the second half of October is what makes the most sense right now.
But it is coming. We've been playing it internally for a little bit, and I keep getting my tail kicked in by everyone else. But it's coming.
I
Yeah,
promise you're not as bad as I am at Arena. I lose every match.
so there's a fun story around that where apparently, like, you can level up your character during the fight, right? Like during the course of the match, you can level up your character and increase his stats. And it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago that like half of the group discovered that that was an option. Like most of the people not working on the game directly. And so that was a big realization moment. Like, okay, we need to, make this UI a little bit better. So guys, next time we play, check it out. Are you actually leveling up the character?
I'll have to remember that for our play session tomorrow.
So, which NFTs will be eligible to be used in other Bitverse titles? Will it be only like a hero profile, or can I send like pets and accessories and armors to, say, my Bit Heroes Arena character?
Viper, you want to take it?
Yeah, so we have this vision that all items in Arena will be mintable. If an arena, the category item exists, then you should be able to. But in some circumstances, the category doesn't exist. For example, in arena, we're not going to have mounts, and like Quest does, and so mounts wouldn't be able to be used over there. But we have this vision that the NFT items we want to be as cross-game usable as possible. Now they might have slightly different uses across the game. Even in some games, they might just be cosmetic as opposed to actually providing some sort of stat bonus. But that is our goal, to get as much cross-game usability, and we plan to make sure it is highly visible, the utility across the different games. Like in the Bitforge, that's one of the things we want to highlight, that when you're going to look to mint an item, it'll actually list what the usability will be across all of the Bitverse titles, so then you can help make your own decision.
All right. So, are you able to use an NFT crossbow weapons cosmetic on your sword? This is a popular free to pay consumer request that everyone would like.
Yeah, so we've been talking about this one. Again, I want to be careful about what I say. Uh, we haven't started to work on items like yet, right? Like us in terms of specking out everything. Uh, but what I can say is that it will go on a case by case basis, right? Like it's not only allowing the player to equip a crossbow, right, cosmetic on the sword, because that has implications in terms of animation, in terms of skill. Like, there's a bunch of things we need to consider there. Also, for example, if I'm playing arena, right, it's like the type of weapon that my hero is carrying determines the gameplay and what I can do and my skills. So if by any reason, instead of showing up a sword, I'm showing up a crossbow, that might give me an unfair advantage compared to someone who doesn't. So, we'll explore it. If we can do it, we'll do it. But if we find like there's enough design reasons not to do it, we won't.
So, what steps is Congregate taking to mitigate consumer risk on your marketplace's partner sites?
Sounds
Yeah,
like a
I
Viper question to me. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we will do all that we can to educate players, providing how-to videos, help in Discord, all those types of things. Provide systems for players to ask for help. But we're not going to be able to like police all of the marketplaces out there. And the questioner listed like OpenSea and some of the other ones. If we find that one of these marketplaces maybe is doing something that we're not aligned with, we can always drop that marketplace, but we're not aware of a way that we're going to be able to preemptively police them, unfortunately. So I think the best we can do here is make sure folks are educated and provide help to those who are learning in this space, because we know a lot of people will be learning. This will be their first experience into the Web3 world.
Are users going to dictate the price they can list their NFTs for, or will there be realistic margins to prevent monopoly situations?
And Tony, do you want me to take this one, or do you want to?
Yeah, I can start. Maybe you can provide color if I miss something, but the user will be able to list at whatever price the marketplace will allow. Like we won't be able to go to the IMX marketplace and set rules for a maximum or minimum. So the marketplace sets their own rules, and users will be able to take their own item and list it for what they want. Whether someone buys it at that price is a different story, right? And I think if I'm reading this question correctly about how to prevent monopoly situations, that goes what we're looking to do on that, because I could see a situation where if we had hard caps on, let's say, some of the mintable items, and we had some tier 18 item or something like that, and we said, oh, only 10 could ever exist, then I could see a situation where someone was able to somehow get all 10, and then they would control the price and charge exorbitant amounts for it on the secondary marketplace. That is one of the reasons we are looking at this soft cap approach that I was talking about, in terms of minting the price it costs to mint, so that even if someone was to rush out and buy the first 10, someone could always buy the 11th if they wanted to for a price slightly above what the original one was going for, not like 10x or 20x like someone who might be trying to create a monopoly would do.
All right. And with the project, did you want to say something, Jorge, or should I keep going forward?
Sorry, I think I tapped
Oh.
accidentally on the mic.
All right. So, with the project launching soon, can you elaborate on the details of your smart contracts?
That's a great question. We will need to keep bringing Nick and Max to talk more about that, so we can probably schedule that for the next MAA. Also, if you
Awesome.
gave
So,
us like a
coming
little bit
soon.
more info in terms of like what would you like to learn there, like what would be better suited to answer, because the contract comes with a lot of different pieces. You're looking for what are going to be the fees, as we mentioned. We're still debating. It's not gonna be anything crazy, right? But give us a little bit of more info here. Come on.
All right. And then I think this is a really fun question to end on. What are the proposed limits on the number of NFTs based on rarity?
Yeah, so we do have those numbers for Generation Zero. We've actually generated the avatars recently, and I just had wrong one. The numbers come out to for Generation Zero overall, there's going to be 2,600 avatars minted in Generation Zero. Breakdown by rarity and these aren't round numbers, so I apologize to folks who are going to try to keep this in their head. But for the common heroes, there's going to be 1,116 common heroes. For rare heroes, there's going to be 671. For epic heroes, it's 395. For legendary heroes, it's going to be 355. And for the mythic heroes, it's going to be 63. Now, hopefully, there'll be a quiz later where we'll ask everyone to memorize those numbers. But no, just kidding. We will be publishing these numbers very soon, so folks can look at them.
Okay. So that brings us to like an hour on the nose. We were able to get through like 35 questions. We have even more that we're planning on answering. So please feel free to keep submitting them to us. If they don't make it into a upcoming Q&A, we will be doing everything we can to answer the questions in our FAQ that's posted on our Discord and also on our Medium blog. So now before we end the session, we do still need to give away an Ultra Gore. This week, everyone who joined us for the Q&A is eligible to win. Our wonderful other CM Coffee and I will be selecting 2 random winners shortly after this Q&A wraps up, and we'll announce the name to the community before the day is done. Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and wrap things up here. I want to thank all of our guests for taking the time out of their very busy days to sit with us. And a sincere thank you goes out to all of you as well for taking the time to talk with us about the Bitverse. I know that we shared a lot of information here today, and you guys may have a lot of feedback, thoughts. You might be excited, maybe you're not excited. That's okay too. We would love for your feedback though. We want you guys to let us know how you're feeling. If this is if you're excited, share. If there's ways you feel we can improve, please let us know. We're always reading Discord. We are always trying to connect with the community. So we want to emphasize that this is very much a journey we want to go on with you guys together. So our next Q&A session will be next week at the same time. So it'll be August 11th. We hope to see all of you then. And I hope everyone has an incredible weekend. Please don't forget to join us tomorrow for just to blow off some steam and have some fun playing some scary games. And Jorge, Viper, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. A good time. This was very technical today.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Yeah, a lot of numbers thrown out today.
Take care, everyone.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon.